What's important, Mr. Speaker, is the honorable member next door. They said that at a high interest rate. Mr. Speaker, this government, if we have to pay 7% or 7.5% to house our people, instead of spending $100 million on a sailboat race, we will do it, Mr. Speaker. And if, Mr. Speaker, rather than spend $250 million at Morgan's Point, we will build houses, Mr. Speaker. One thing we will do is we will give our people what they need, not what some of their rich friends need or want.
Members, there are other members who would like to put questions on that statement.
Supplemental to that.
MP King, would you like to put your statement, your question to that statement?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, honorable members, and to the listening public. Regarding the building of affordable housing, the opposition is in full support of that because we recognize the need, 100%. Towards that end, I'm asking, was a crime prevention through environmental design assessment done regarding the planning process for the housing development? Because what we do know is that housing developments projects, affordable housing developments projects, are high-risk areas for adverse childhood experiences, crime, etc. So I'm asking whether or not an assessment was done, a crime prevention through environmental design was done on the proposed housing development.
Minister.
Thank you, MP King, for your support. We really do like to hear that from the other side sometimes, and so do the people of the country. With regard to environmental impact study, you'll be happy to know that we have had many conversations about what impacts these housing developments will cause. And so it's not lost on us, Mr. Speaker. He mentioned at risk and other things. But we've talked about transportation for sewage supply, water supply, amenities within the areas for people. So yes, all those things have been considered and will continue to be considered as we develop more and more homes.
Thank you. Supplementary or new question? Supplementary or new question?
Supplementary.
Supplementary?
When one is, if one is appropriate, one will be given. The Honorable Deputy Premier spoke about particular aspects of the assessments that were done, but he was not actually referring to the crime prevention through environmental design assessment. What he was talking about was basically the physical structure of the buildings being fit for purpose, I suspect, but what I'm talking about is an approach to building affordable housing that takes into consideration the risks that are posed for that particular group. Lighting, access, visibility, open spaces, exactly how the place is designed to reduce the likelihood of crime, violence, and antisocial behavior. Because what we do know is that persons who require affordable housing are at greater risk to suffer those particular harms. It is a fact. It is a fact.
Mr. Speaker, that is insulting every Bermudian that lives in this country. To insinuate that when you're moving those people to those areas, have you done a risk assessment? That's an insult to the people of this country, does not deserve a reply.
Supplemental question.
Supplementary question.
It's apparent that the Deputy Premier does not understand what I'm asking. I'm talking about an assessment that will require the specific services to address the particular needs that are presented with populations who are experiencing specific needs related to their particular circumstances. It has shown success in Singapore, the UK, Canada, and other jurisdictions at creating safer environments, which is what we need to do. So this is an approach that creates a safer environment. We're not labeling these persons as criminals. What we're suggesting is we are taking note of the fact that they are more susceptible to having problems in their community, and we need to be systematic and strategic to make sure that we provide them with safe housing and that we protect the oncoming generations as well. That is the reason why I asked the question.
Mr. Speaker, all I have to say again is wow. And let me say to the honorable member, does he think that it's all people that find themselves struggling a little bit that want affordable homes? There are middle-class people in this country that want affordable homes.
Exactly.
Middle-class people, Mr. Speaker, that want affordable homes. Is the OBA saying that this housing program that we have, this aggressive housing program that we have, are for all those kinds of people, Mr. Speaker? I'm sorry. But he should have his own members standing up objecting to that statement. Without that, Mr. Speaker, I only assume that they support it.
Mr. Speaker,
Just a minute.
I understood.
Application. Now you're on your second question, correct? Because your supplementary is on your first question.
Correct, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, second question.
My understanding was that as of 2025, 1,331 persons were in desperate need of housing. I remember that it was 71 persons were on the critical list for housing. So it would suggest that the affordable housing is for those persons and not the persons that the Deputy Premier is suggesting also need affordable housing. So we're talking about
So
the question is,
Yes.
these affordable housing units are going to be for the 71 persons or those persons who are on the critical housing list?
long way to get. Premier, Deputy?
Mr. Speaker, these homes are for all of our people. When we produce 229 homes in the next 14 months, we will look at the people that are on those lists, and they will be given homes accordingly. Certainly, the honorable member must know that. The OBA must know that. They were in government for 5 years. Well, that's right. We forgot they didn't build any.
No, that was your second question. Do you have a supplementary to that, or is it your third question?
I do, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary?
So then the question is, what is the eligibility requirement to be able to successfully be considered for one of these houses? Because perhaps it's for the...
Okay, well, the question is, what's the eligibility?
What's the eligibility requirement? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the eligibility is for people in this country that need homes, will have an opportunity to get them.
Yeah. Supplementary, that was your first supplementary. Do you have a second supplementary?
Not digging.
So,
Second sub. Oh,
second sub, so what is the actual eligibility criteria and what is the process? Because I think the listening public would want to know that, and potentially it'll be more than 71 persons who are on the critical list.
Minister?
Mr. Speaker, everyone that signs up to get on the list have to have a meeting with the people at Bermuda Housing Corporation, and means testing is done based on those conversations.
Do you have a third? No, you used your two subs for your second question. Do you have a third question?
I have a third question.
Third question.
Persons who are considered or who are successful applicants, will there be individual support plans for the families who are successful to ensure that the services are available to ensure their success?
I'm not sure exactly what the question is, Mr. Speaker.
Previously, there was a CMIT program under the Department of Child and Family Services. Morgan's Point, 8 units for families, and they had wraparound services to ensure that those persons who required housing, similar folks, that their needs were met for the children, for the parents, and others. I'm asking if there's going to be an individual support plan for persons receiving the housing so that they can exit the system.
Any?
Mr. Speaker, I got offended, right, for the people of this country.
Didn't respond.
I really do. When he talks about those people, again, now he's referring, he said similar people. What? I mean, that's just an insult to everybody. Then he talked about the emergency homes. I think that's what he's
Point of
referring to.
information, Mr. Speaker?
No, I don't
He
accept.
doesn't have to take a point of information.
Right? Mr. Speaker, he referred to the emergency homes at Morgan's Point that we had up several years ago. Those were emergency homes, completely different situations, Mr. Speaker. Look, that honorable member, Mr. Speaker, needs to stop trying to make political points over people that are in this country and have struggling times. He needs to stop.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order?
He's impugning improper motive. The reason why I'm asking the questions is to ensure that those persons in this community who require suitable housing get it.
I don't want to have an up and back and forth, but I think both sides are saying the same thing. The minister is saying that the housing will provide for those who are desperately needed on whatever the list is. I don't want to use the wrong term for the list, but whatever the emergency list. Those on that, and there are families who also need assistance for private home housing who aren't on the list. Both will be covered.
That's absolutely right, Mr. Speaker. Certainly members of this House know, and I've said it publicly enough, we have different categories. You have critical, urgent, and the need. And Mr. Speaker, let's be clear about another thing that we plan on doing in the next 12 months, is that we will build some homes for people to buy. Will the opposition member then say, well, congratulations, and then say, well, who are you putting some of those people? Are you going to let those people buy homes? Mr. Speaker, we will provide affordable homes for rent for our people, all of our people.
All Bermudians.
All Bermudians. 100%. And when we start building homes for sale, they will be for all Bermudians, Mr. Speaker. We will give opportunities for our people to live a healthy, happy life that they didn't have previous.
This is your second sub with your third question.
Thank you, Mr.
Your last
Speaker.
question.
Of course, we're in agreement with the overall philosophy and what we are concerned with.
Put the question.
Yeah, I'm going to put the question, sir. Will there be consideration to drafting legislation and or using existing legislation to make these protected areas the same way that you have an increased penalty zone for certain areas, sports clubs, to ensure that those neighborhoods are protected from antisocial behavior? Because we want to create a neighborhood that is safe for the persons who are going to be there. So might they rely upon existing legislation in consideration of that? That's my final question. Thank you.
Minister?
Mr. Speaker, I pause because does that really dignify a response? Really, Mr. Speaker, in this House?
The assumption that
That we bring legislation for people that we're going to put in housing to what? Would you want to build a fence around it? Come on, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. All right. MP King, you've exhausted your questions. MP Pearman, you'd indicated you wanted questions for the same. It wasn't? Oh. No. MP Faye, would you like to put your questions down, MP Faye?
Thank you, Mr.
Takes a
Speaker.
minute sometimes.
What's your next opportunity to say?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.